Hello everyone and welcome. So in today's video we'll be creating a crypto address QR code generator, and also our tutor would be Kudusayo. He's a professional software developer who has many years of experience, and also is also good at teaching. So if you want to continue with the video and you want to see how to create this, so you have to watch till the end, like, comment and share. Thank you. Let's dive into it.
Hello, good day. I'm Kudosayo and glad to be here. Today we'll be building a crypto address QR code generator. How the application works actually is that it takes in a crypto address, a wallet address, and it generates a QR code based on the address. And it also validates the address if the address is valid or invalid. So this is not an XRP address, so the QR code is red and the text is red, the border is red. So if it's not a Bitcoin address too, but it's an XRP address. So let's jump in and get started. Here I have my default React app. I just set up a new boilerplate and let me just start the server. Yarn start. So it's going to start now and just hello React. Good. So let's begin. First of all, I'll create okay, before I get started, I have these three packages here which I use. I use multi-coin address validator to validate the address, QR code.react to generate the QR code, and I use style SAS for my styling. So let's begin. First of all, I'll create my components folder. I'll have the two components which are my form and my QR this thing. So here I'll have my index.js and here too I'll have my index.js. Oops. So I use the .js, but the .js is absolutely fine. So anyone you wish. So yeah, I have my um, functional component. I use form and from here, from here, and save this. And see, I have the QR and the QR goes here. QR here. Save. So this won't show up yet until we import them. But so let's import both here. I have my form and my QR. My, my QR. So good. So we have the form here. Oh, index.js does not match the corresponding name on this index.js. Okay, I have a small letter. Let me just rename. See camel case. So we have the form here and we have the QR here. So let me just fill this form with the proper thing. We have just few things here. We have the H2 which takes in crypto address address adddd and QR iPhone code. Then we have the form form which takes in select and the select takes in option. We have option select to YP network. We have three networks here: Bitcoin, BTC, we have the Ethereum, ETH, ETH, and we have the Ripple, which is the XRP. We also have our input, which is the input, the text input, and this are all we have here. In our QR, we just have to import. We don't need all this div. We need just the QR only. QR code. So let me just turn it to this. Oops. Okay, let's do it this way. Q, capital Q. Yep. To make it our component. And we have the value. Let me just give the value of QR code. So the QR code is generated based on the text in it, and I'll explain that later. So first of all, let's style our forms and our app. First thing I have to do here, I think I have the default styling here in my app CSS. I'm using Rubik's as my font family by default, and I set the height of the body to be 100 view height by default. That's all I need for today. So here I'll be creating a style dot module dot scss. I use modules for my styling. I need the app for the app, and the form for the form, and that's QR for the QR. So my app here, I want it to display as flex. I want the margin to be auto 0. Margin, oops, margin to be auto. So, and what else? I need it to have a weight of 80%. Of 80%. I think it's fine. Why? Okay. So let me just add the style in here. Import style from dot slash style.model.scss, and I'll give this a class name of styles.app style dot whatsapp. Good, I think it should fit here. I want this to be style of dot form. Import style from dot slash dot slash style, and this should have a class name of styles dot form style dot what form, and these two should have a class name of what import style from slash, and it should have a class name of what style dot qr style dot what qr. Good. So we have three styles here. So before we proceed, I want to have something common in both. Let me just create a mixing sheet, mixing of commoner. It's taking the flex so I can know. So flex should be the flex, and it should take a border radius of 12 pixels, 12 pixels, and padding of what 2 em, 2 em. Let me just add the border radius so I can keep track of my works. Border of 1px solid black. Oh, will it apply? No. Yeah, okay, let me just include the commoner of 3, and this should include the commoner, include the commoner with 1. Save, and let's see. Yeah, good. So let me begin styling my QR first, as is the easiest for me to style. I want it to have a margin left of 1 em. Should have a border of what? Border shit. Border border of 35 pixels, solid hash 2 b7 b7 aea. I think I'm right. Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm good. Let me just give it a padding of 1 em to override the padding 1 em. Yeah, that's great. So let me just style my form too. I have a predefault, I have a style that's in my clipboard at the moment. I'll just paste to override to fix this h to this and this. But let me just fix it first. So I want this to have a display of flex too, and the flex direction should be column, and justify content should be space around. So let me just paste the default style in there. And yeah, let's see. We are good to go. We need a what? We need a background color of hash 27 this, and we need to remove this border. Oh, sorry, this, and let me give this to margin right of what 1 em. Yes, so I think the gap is enough. So we have to fix this, and to fix this is actually to fix it from the image size. So I can go to the image and I can control the size there. Let's see. QR code React size as 128. Man, what is it? Size as 1 to 8. Let's see. Are we able to? Am I doing something wrong here? What is the size number? 128. Okay. Oops. Is now, let's see if 250 should work out. Yes. So 250 is fine. So I think we have our options here. We have our input here. We have everything set up. Let me just bring this down so it's okay to the center. I'll just justify the transform translate. What is my app? Transform translate y of 25 view h. Actually, what I'm doing here is not a way of making it responsive, just to make something clear to us. So let's jump into the functionality of the app. Let's bind this input first to this QR generator before we validate the stuff. So when we press anything, I love you, and you scan the QR code, it tells you I love you. So okay, let me start from my app.js here, and we need use states. Import. Okay, I'll just get it from here. I think use state. Yes, and our first state we need to use should be the network address, and the address should be what undefined. But let me just check in. Okay, let's just leave it as undefined. As a space. Okay, it's good like this. Oops, sorry. We have this address as undefined. We can bind this address, and okay, let's control the address first. As I'm just passing the address down to the form, and address should be address, and the form should have a value. I think the inputs have a value of what, of address, value of address. Oops, sorry, we have to bring the address in as the props, then we can press it down here. Sorry, my cocks are disturbing. It's a type of text, and text, yeah, good. Sorry, and good. We have something here. Use state is not defined. Import your state. Import from what? From React as your state. Use state, and we have your state to be done. So we can pass in the address to here for our QR. I think that should be absolutely fine. Let's make the value maybe address to. Let's just pass it down. Address. And yeah, for our QR here, we are taking in the address address, and the value here should be what? Should be the address. Address. Good. So if we set address to what? To, let's try something new. We see the QR changed to let's try something new, and our input here is filled with let's try something new, but we can't edit this our form, so let's fix that too. And in our app.js we can just create a constant that changes the function, change the address, change address to what it should catch the event of the form, and let address to be equal to e.target.value, value of the target, and we can just set address to what? To the address. You know, this address here won't be this address here due to the scope of this. So I think should give that. Then we can pass down this change address to this change address and change address, and we can set the unchange for this unchange oops, change to be the change address, which we need to put in here change address, and should be it. Yeah, good. I think we are good to go with this, and let's try something new. I think let's see how it's gonna be. So that's it. Now let's fix in the validation and let's bind these two so we know the proper net. We are selecting the proper network and we are binding it to the proper position. So let's jump into this too. So here we should have the value should be of something. I think that's in our form. Our form, oops. Let me just set the value to be an empty stuff like this. Let me just call it network. Work. We are going to pass down the network alongside network and also the change network so we can change the network, and the change network should just be on the unchange to be the change network, and all these network too should have their own value. This should be hidden by default, and value should be what btc btc, and this should have a value of what of eth, and this should have a value of what. Let me see if I can just keep this up. Okay, I'm back. So we have to pass down this here. I think we have the address, we have the unchanged, we have the, let me just type this. Good. So save this. Let's add the change network too, and have the network and the set network alongside. Oh, is it set network or change network? We're using change network. Let me just call it set network. Network. And this should be, let me just call it, we want it to be ETH by default. So we can pass it down to our form. We are passing down network to be network and the change network to be what? Change network to be change network. But we don't have a change network function yet. So let me just create a change network function. Change network should be equal to the event target dot value. So this should be let network to be the e dot target value, and let's say set network to be what network. So I think we have our network sync and it's connected. Things are binded. Think repo. Can when this thing change, you can alert network to check. Alert the network to see if we are very correct. I think Ethereum, ETH, Bitcoin, BTC, good, and Ripple to be XRP. That's good. So let me just delete this thing. So we have this thing working. We have this working. We have it binded together. So let's just add a validator to this thing. So to add a validator, the next thing we are going to do is just to add, let me just create another use state of invalid address, invalid, oops, it's invalid valid address, and it should be of boolean false. our address is not invalid by default. But we have to bring in this package multi address validator thing. I'm not sure if it's built by default for React, but let's import it manually. You should just have import WA validator as mentioned. Validator from dot slash no let's multi-point slash east slash let's address validator. Yeah, it's fine like that. So we have a validator imported, and let's verify the networks upon change. So when the address is changed, let's just check two things. To check, let its valid address the RESS to be equal to WA validator dot what validate. That's a validate this thing. It should validate. We have the byte and let's see the address and the boolean and the network rather. And what is the network? Network. And let's see. Alert is valid address. Let's see. If we actually change this, pause. It's not a valid address. Let me just copy an Ethereum address from here and let's see. It's an Ethereum. True. Yes, it's valid. Good. So I think our stuff is working fine. Instead of us setting this, what we are going to just set is valid address to be what? Because we will need that for our stuff. Invalid address to be what? Should be invalid. Because if this address is true, if this address is valid, we have to make sure this is false. That's why I'm negating it here, so that when the address is not valid, this will be true and this will be true. So we can check for the network too here, because I have a good valid address here and on a valid network. But let me switch to XRP. This address is not valid because it is not an XRP address. So what am I going to do there is just to check here to is valid. Let me just copy this and paste it down here. I don't want to create another function for that, and just set it again. So let me check BTC. Oh, we are not alerting. Then let's just use this is valid address or not, and let's pass it down to our component. Invalid address to the invalid address, and yet to and yet to I have to just bring it down to this. So we have it here, and we can come to our form. I have one class here by default, which is class dangerous. Let me just set it to invalid, so we can know if this thing is invalid. So if let me just set a class name to be if we need, we're passing it as a props down here as invalid address, so we should pass it down here alongside 2. And if this is true, then we should add the dangerous class, I mean the invalid class, else it should add nothing. So let's check. So this is an invalid address, but because we are on a wrong, so it's valid now. So we can add this too, because this QR has a property. You can read more into the documentation. We have this FG color, which symbolizes this color here, which is black. So let's go to the QR component 2 and check if it's this. Then we can add FG color And if it's invalid, if it's true, I want it to be what? Let's see. Okay, what's the color of the dangerous here? This is it. um, should be of this, else it should be what? Black. Oh, 00000. Yep. So we are on the valid network, and here we have an invalid address. So let's refresh. Try something new. By default, let's make this valid. So there is something here we call a dead wallet, and this is the address ETH dead. So once I pass it, it's a valid address, but it's a dead address. We're not talking about crypto here, so I want to explain that. So let me just set the dead wallet as the default address that will be there. What is it? Let's try something. So I set the dead address as the default address here. So the next thing we can do is we know that this is by default valid, and XRP is wrong. I have an XRP address here. I think XRP X, and we can just paste it here to make sure it's valid. SS, it's invalid because XRP cannot come like that. And just get XRP scan to check for XRP address, a random address. We can just pick one. This, what is the address? Transaction hash. Okay, from here. Okay, this is from, I think this is an address. It should be a valid one, and boom, it's valid. Therefore, for Bitcoin too, we can just get a random BTC address um, to check if it is valid, and if it is valid, yeah, we are good to go. Then paste it this here, and it should have a B here. So it's a valid address. Good luck, and I think you enjoyed the lecture. Yeah. So a bonus to you is just to make sure you can, if you can try to add a download button that can download this image, that would be very, very great. And you can add more features. You can toy around with the values here, and the link to the code will be dropped in the description below. So thank you.
Hi guys, the tutorial was great and I learned a lot and also enjoyed his teaching. So I would be carrying out is that after I fully understand the video, because I would just have to watch a little bit more just so as to get my foot wet. Yeah, I'm pretty new to React, so I will learn from what he has just done. So if you love the video, all you just need to do is like, share and subscribe. And also I will pin down his comment down in the comment section, so you can just have a chat with him, and also add some of his social media pages so you can chat him up for gigs and many other things. Thank you and bye bye.